did it all begin? To make this so-called scary blind bag, I'm starting with some black paper as well as a white pen. Oh, and here's the brand if you were curious. I'm folding our construction paper in half, and on the front side, I'm drawing the cover design. At the top, I'm going to title this the Haunted Blind Bag in sinister letters. Ooh, so terrifying. I may or may not have been inspired by the Harry Potter books that have a very similar style font, but trust me, that wasn't intentional, it was merely a coincidence. At the top, I'm drawing dotted lines to indicate where to cut open the blind bag. And once that's done, I began to draw the design underneath the title, which will be an incredibly devious
phantom-like grin.
Oop. Maybe I should have used a white coloring tool with a larger tip. So I have my trusty Sharpie brush pens, which honestly I highly recommend using as they are decently opaque and don't bleed too much. One of the only downsides about these is that the color selection is still rather limited, but in the meantime the white marker is working just fine. Man, I wish I drew that math on differently though. But this is what we have so far. It's looking a little bit bland, to be honest. We need something evil. Okay, it's not that evil, but I drew this off camera because I needed real concentration, like nose to paper kind of focus. So I'm going to cut them out using scissors, which was a little bit difficult considering all of the little curves and bends. Eventually, I got it cut out. Now, where do I put this? Right here. I'm going to bring in a glue stick to lock the paper in place. Last thing for the front, I'm going to write a little innocent message along with some spider webs for extra spooky decorations. And here is the front cover. Backside, here we come. For this specific blind bag, I want to be a little bit more creative than just the old typical common, uncommon, legendary, rare, mythical, blah 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 blah. It took me some thinking, but I came up with boring, nervous, frightened, and all of these words are words you would describe someone's feelings before entering a haunted house, hence the little faces. We're almost done here with the cover. Last thing I'm going to do here is seal the blind bag cover into a pocket by gluing the side and bottom edge and pressing down firmly. And here is our blind bag cover. Now let's move on to the inside items. For that, we're going to use this scrap piece of black paper. Is this bothering you? Good. So I'm just gonna fold this in half as so. Next, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to be cutting this out into a little rectangle. So now we should have something like this where you can open it up. This is where we're going to write our rarity. Oh, let's not do that. Alright, and with that, let's see what rarity we're going to choose for this blind bag. And let's pick. Actually, I have a better idea. I'm going to draw an eye with these supplies just to catch you off guard. When you're looking at the back of the blind bag, you're expecting one of these, right?
No.
You're gonna get an eye. Hopefully that'll scare you. So first I'm gonna start off with this white pen. Just gonna open this up. And I'm just gonna draw the white part of the eye as so. I don't know what is it with me with eyes. I don't know if you've seen that video, but on my YouTube shorts I made this eerie blind bag where the You Got paper actually has an eye instead of one of the rarities on the back of the blind bag. I'm doing that again. White pens on black paper is kind of a hit or miss on the white pen part because some white pens, they're just not opaque enough. Next, I'm going to draw the iris with this teal aqua pen. I don't know the difference. I'm just gonna call it teal for now. Oof, this is looking a little bit... It's kind of terrifying actually, especially with the black paper in the background. And last thing, we're just gonna, oh wait, no, second to last thing. Okay, I'm gonna draw black parts using the black pen, the pupil. And then for this top part, I'm just gonna write a little comforting message. Uh-oh. Oh no. This is what I mean by white pens not doing their job. On camera, it might look okay, but in real life, it's kind of faded. It's just kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes it does work well, as you can see right here. Sometimes you just need to shake up the pen a little bit, kind of let the ink flow through. Here's our You Got paper. Oh wait. Oh, I remember now. I think I was using part of this paper to sketch for this hand right here, so yeah, that's why that's there. But for the cover, obviously we need to write You Got, so let's do that real quick. Alright, there we go. So when you open up the You Got paper, Okay, with that done, let's start working on the blind bag items. Okay, so for these blind bag items, I want them to be moderately scary. At the same time, I don't want to traumatize anybody. Not that I would want to anyways. You know what also scares me besides the typical haunted houses, spiders, stuff like that? Disgusting things. And by disgusting things, I mean people don't cover their mouths when they're sneezing and just release their
Disgusting germs out into the atmosphere for us to breathe in.
It's terrifying. For this item, it's gonna be
Mucus.
okay, not actual mucus though, that's
disgusting.
but I did make this light yellowish slime like a couple weeks ago. I never really did anything. It's kind of dusty up here, but let's turn it into mucus. And also, just a disclaimer guys, if you actually want to make a blind bag like this, don't include your actual mucus. That is actually a safety hazard. So to put my mucus in the bag, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but I'm just gonna put it in this plastic bag and then put this plastic bag in another bag. So let's pull out some slime real quick. Oh, kind of deactivated.
All the more realistic, I guess.
I'm trying to be extra careful to not cover my yellow surface in slime because it's paper. Let's open this plastic bag, dump some mucus in here. Oh god, that looks disgusting. I think that's enough for now. The real issue is trying to figure out a way to put all this slime back into the container. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I think that worked okay, I guess. I'm just gonna cover this up and I'm just gonna have to deal with it later. Here is our mucus. That looks delicious. To clarify that this is mucus and not slime, I'm just gonna put a label here that says mucus. I have this white piece of paper and I'm just gonna make a quick label. Okay, and then my black pen. Let's draw a caution sign right here. Just an innocent smiley face. Now I'm just gonna cut this out real quick. Just like that. And with this, I'm just gonna grab some tape, snip off a piece. I'm just gonna put the label underneath the tape like this. And then finally, just place the label on the bag as so. We're just gonna make a bag for it real quick. I'm gonna be making multiple items, so I'm just gonna show you how to make the bag once. I'm just gonna take some black paper with some
Mucus stains.
It's not mucus, by the way. Hold a decent size, enough to hold this bag. And then I'm just gonna cut along the folded edge as so. There we go. You should have something like this. I think it's sticky out a little bit. Let me trim off the top of this plastic bag. It could actually fit inside. I'm just gonna cut off this much right here. Whatever. So first things first, I'm gonna draw a question mark here and then dotted lines. If I can find my white pen. Alright, I found it. Now we're just gonna draw the question mark in the center right here. And then dotted lines on the top. You know, it's optional, but you could write open here just for extra clarity, but it's not necessary. So now I'm just gonna seal these two edges. Oh, no, don't do that. Final step, we just need to put this in here. Tape off the final edge. And here is our first blind bag item. I'm planning on making a couple more, so let's get onto that real quick. Maybe it's a good idea to prop this up so that the slime doesn't, you know... Alright, so the next thing I'm going to make in this blind bag, or rather, another thing that scares me, pimple popping. I don't know if it's still common today, like those skincare blind bags where they just kind of squeeze the pimples out. The pimple
Juice out.
It's not actual pimple juice, but there's something about it that just makes me insanely uncomfortable about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it today. So here with this white paper, I'm gonna draw, you know, just a simple, I guess, cartoon figure. Round head, or somewhat round. Oh, this ink is not doing it for me. Maybe a Sharpie would do it. Sharpie's probably gonna bleed onto my surface, so I'm just gonna have this as the backup. This guy has no neck. Alright. Whatever. I just want a simple face so that I could fit a pimple somewhere. That's what we're going to do next. I have this white glue to act as the
Puss.
of the pimple. I'm also gonna bring out some white paper. I'm making sure it's kind of thin so that, you know, I could actually squeeze the glue out of the pimple. So I'm just gonna rip off a little piece of paper for, I think this size is better. With this, I'm just gonna break off any piece of glue as so. Just gently massage the glue so that it's more paste-like. I remember making one of these for what blind bag? I forgot. I'm trying to gather some of the glue towards the center so that I could just kind of wrap it. Oh my god, my hands. Gently wrap it so that we have a little pocket as so. And then I'm just gonna cut this extra bit off. And finally, I'm going to
Attempt.
oh, actually, no. Never mind. I was gonna say I was gonna tape the edge closed, but it seems like it's holding together pretty well, so I'm just gonna keep it as is. I'm just gonna leave it right here. Now, this doesn't really look like a pimple. I think I'm going to use a red marker. So I have some red and pink. I'm gonna start off with pink first. Kind of gently color it. Okay, this pink is not really doing anything for me. Maybe a red would be better. That doesn't look like a pimple, but whatever. Let's take away this glue stick because it's kind of an eyesore. Now I'm just gonna take a sharp pencil and I'm just gonna pierce a little hole in the center. It should be relatively easy because the surface is rather weak. There's our little pimple.
Why did I make this?
Now I'm just gonna add some extra details to the head. The shape of the body is really making me uncomfortable. It's making me even more uncomfortable than the pimple right here. Now I'm just gonna write a little note here. So yeah, this is what we have. Now I'm debating whether I should just leave this in the blind bag as so, or if I should just make a separate blind bag. You know what? Let's make a bag for it. Here is our bag. Now I'm just gonna put this in here, and that's our second item. I'm gonna make sure that the pimple doesn't come off. We can tape off this final edge, and there we go. There's our second item. All right, and the last item that we're going to make today, or at least the last thing that I'm scared of, and this is probably going to be the worst of them all, trypophobia. I don't know why I'm holding these pens like this, but if you don't know what trypophobia is, basically the fear of holes. Now this is something that you may not know that you have a fear of, but you actually do. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out in advance. There's going to be pictures like these. Oh god, I can't even look at it. Yeah, I'm gonna disguise this as if this was a secret admirer. I'm going to disguise this piece of paper as a letter from a secret admirer. Very touching message. Oops. But to treat this as a letter from a secret admirer is crazy. To make this extra fancy, I'm just gonna draw a little heart right here so that the intentions are obvious. I don't even know what that means, but... And then on the top here, I'm just gonna write from my secret admirer. If any of you guys are watching this and if you plan to make this blind bag for someone else, tell me how it went. I'm very curious. So that's that. I'm just gonna tape off the edge here. Now that we have all of our inside items, let's assemble the blind bag at once, inserting each item one by one, and finally securing the top edge using a piece of clear tape. And here is the scariest blind bag ever. Overall, I think the way the items were chosen were designed to scare someone in the form of shock and disgust, so there's gotta be some merit for that. But for now, it's unboxing time. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Meepyblues out.